Hello, it's 2nd of April 2026 and India won 3 out of 3 games in their FIBA 3x3 Asia Cup qualifying games. They're now through to the group stages in Pool D and once again in 2026 right after doing the same thing in 2025 India has won all 3 games in the qualifying group. Seems to be a trend that they're going on. I will try to talk about these games and also generally the trend of basketball in India lately. And I'm so proud of this team. I have been following basketball for a long time. I have not been following Indian basketball for a very long time, but I've been following basketball generally for a long time. And Indian basketball was just not good. It was bad basketball to watch. It was not entertaining. We did not win a lot of stuff. There was not a lot of people supporting it. There was no reason to get into it. Things seem to be changing. It's 2026. India has regularly been playing in the 3x3 tournaments for a few years now. And along with that, they've also been playing in the FIBA 5v5 tournaments, like the official, actual Asia Cup games. Their record in that is a little iffy, not the greatest. But for now, we're just here to talk about the 3x3 games, which I just finished watching the highlights for. I just finished watching all 3 games played today in Singapore. And my God, I'm actually so proud of the team. We're 19th, seeded 19th in the tournament, the Team India. Along with us in the qualifying group D, we had Kazakhstan at 11th seed, Hong Kong at 18th seed, and Bahrain at 12th seed. So the lowest seed, clearly, of the group. Punched above our weight, dare I say. Although when I saw the matches, we were by far the better team in terms of physicality, in terms of athleticism, in terms of shooting, in terms of strategy to a large extent. I would say we did what was working for us and we continued to do that without trying too much ISO ball. There was a bit of ISO ball here and there, but whatever the situation arise, I think they did well in switching between ISO and running plays. We did get some trouble from some other teams, Kazakhstan particularly. I think physicality is going to be the biggest problem that India face this time. But before I get into the actual games itself, I will discuss all 3 games to the best of my ability. I really want to talk about Indian basketball, man. I am 26 years old. I have been playing basketball for, I would say, 15, 14 years of my life. Never was into watching basketball until I would say 8 years ago almost. That's when I started watching the NBA. I started watching the Minnesota Timberwolves. Don't ask me about how that happened, but I support the Minnesota Timberwolves. But I never really watched Indian basketball. I never really had anyone to look up to in Indian basketball, nationally speaking, right? We had a national team, obviously, I knew that. We didn't have any league. We've never had a league in India. There have been attempts over the years to make a league in India. They've all, failed horribly. Nothing has ever picked up. Nothing has ever um, gone the distance to actually become something sustainable, whatever the reasons may be. There were no people to look up to in Indian basketball. You know what I mean? Until I would say, I think 3, 4 years ago, when Overtime India really blossomed, and I think Overtime did a great job in India to promote basketball in among the youth in India. Since then, they've been following the Indian basketball team, following a lot of players like Pranav Prince, obviously Prince Singh, um, Harsh Dagar, and obviously all the really good players that came before that, Brigovanshi as well. I'm just listing players off the top of my head. Really good players. We had good players for a long time. I think for the longest time, from my knowledge of Indian basketball, which is not, I'm not claiming to be a genius or a great analyst about Indian basketball, but from what I know, we didn't exactly play with a lot of strategy, which is unfortunate because we were never physically or athletically gifted. We were never the kind who would be athletically or physically dominant against opponent teams, right? We had good players. We had players who knew how to play the game, obviously. But when you have a team like that, it's really important to play to your strengths and play strategically, run plays. I don't think I saw the old Indian team. Again, I've not seen a lot of highlights, I've not seen a lot of matches, but I'm sure they did. I don't think I recall a time where the Indian basketball team, nationally speaking, were running plays on a regular basis to get them easy looks. That has changed, I feel like, recently. And that was very evident in this set of matches played yesterday in Singapore. India sent a team of Harsh Dagar, Arvind Muthukrishnan, Pranav Prince, and Kushal Singh. All very young players. Harsh Dagar is like, they're all in their 20s, like early 20s, man, 21, 22. They're like younger than me. They're amazing. They're really good players. They're, really skilled. Pranav Prince is probably the best player I've seen in an Indian uniform, I'll be completely honest. His size, his athleticism is something that I've never seen before. He's like the perfect wing. 6'7", long wingspan, can really shoot well. Hustle's got a really good drive, good athleticism as well. Harsh Dagar, really good three-point shooter, and like, others also contributing a lot. I could speak a lot about the others. I've seen a lot about them thanks to Overtime India once again. Pretty good team, young team. Something that the commentator said that the same team, they could all play in the under 23s as well, and they'd be pretty good. And here they are playing in the senior level against adults, and clearly they're doing really well. They won all three games. They played against Kazakhstan, first game of the day, then Hong Kong, and then Bahrain, and beat them all. Close games. Bahrain was not close at all, though. So let's just go into each one. Kazakhstan was the first game, and I'm giving them a bit of leniency. This is the first game, they were probably getting ready, probably getting warmed up. So they struggled a bit with their physicality against Kazakhstan. I think Kazakhstan had some bigger players, so much girthier players for sure. I think Pranav Prince is our biggest player, tallest player, but we don't have a lot of size, a lot of aggression, or girth, so to say, in the paint. So we struggled a lot initially against Kazakhstan. We went down early because of a lot of paint points. They were not shooting, and throughout the time I was watching, I was like, just pack the paint, man. India did not do that. We still ended up winning though. So they came up clutch towards the end, which is really good. Even scoring throughout. Pranav obviously did most of the scoring. Muthu Krishnan also contributed, and even scoring all throughout. And towards the end, it was a really good and one play, to be honest. He could have finished iced the game at that point, 21 points, but he missed the free throw, and we won by running the clock out. Still pretty good stuff. Something that really stood out to me was defense against little complex plays. Kazakhstan was running plays with three people involved. They were, handing it off at the top, screening the off-ball player, and then cutting inside, passing to the cutter inside. India was struggling with that a bit initially, but they managed to pick it up. And like I mentioned earlier, this is the first time, and I could be completely wrong. I could be speaking out of my ass here, and I could be completely ignoring the previous stuff going on in Indian basketball team. But from what I've seen, this is the first time that I have seen India really run plays. I know this is a half court setting. This is 3 by 3, very different from 5 by 5. But this is a start, man. This means that India is taking basketball seriously, and they're actually trying to play to their strengths. They were setting off ball screens. They're doing dribble handoffs, pick and pops, pick and rolls. They're driving inside, kicking it outside. They're setting double screens, pick and rolls, all sort of stuff, man. Really good stuff. We're really enjoying to see, and I would recommend every one of you to go check out the matches on the YouTube of FIBA 3 by 3. They're up there for free. Check them out. Really, really entertaining stuff. That was a tough game in the beginning. Went down, came back. Second game of the day was against Hong Kong. This game was a little more interesting. I think we had the lead pretty much throughout the game. There was one point where Hong Kong took the lead for like maybe a minute or so. But again, more even scoring throughout. And one concerning trend that I noticed is India's fouling. India plays really physically. And when I say physically, I don't mean like they're dominating them. I mean physically, as in they're annoying their opponents. They're getting into their space. They're swiping their hands, which is good defense. Don't get me wrong, but once the fouls start coming, that can really get you into trouble, man. So thankfully, they still managed to win the games, and they controlled that well, because once they did go into the bonus, they went into the bonus in both the games. I'm pretty sure, and after that point, they were doing pretty well in controlling their fouls. Defense was the name of the game again. Pranav Prince, I think he got like 4 or 5 blocks, and he was blocking people from the 3 point line. He is really difficult to get past, man. He is our primary player. He's our star. You have to do everything around him. Again, really good game. Probably the best game of the bunch. Tough to pick one best, but like this has to be the best game of the bunch. I'm sure brought a lot of confidence into the team as well. Hong Kong is seated at, let me see. Hong Kong is seated at 18th, so just one spot above India, but probably the toughest matchup of all three. And then finally, India played Bahrain as the day ended in Singapore. And my God, this game is one to watch for Harsh Dagar fans. And I would say I'm a fan. This guy can shoot the ball. This guy can shoot the heck out of the ball, man. It's a smaller ball in FIBA 3x3. It's a size 6. It's a little easier to get shots to go in because you have a lot more, a lot more give in the basket. It's a much bigger basket, smaller ball. But still, that doesn't take anything away from his performance, man. He was making turnaround threes, catch and shoot threes, dribble pull up threes, and then when he needed to, he was driving in, using his, he scored 6 3 pointers or 2 pointers, I suppose, and went inside to score 2 points with 2 layups. And that was pretty much it, man. Bahrain did not have an answer for him. We were passing it out to Hurst. He caught the ball, he shot the ball, he made the basket. There was really nothing Bahrain could do. Honestly, I felt a bit bad for Bahrain. They're higher seeded. They've been good historically speaking, but they just did not look like they sent a good team. They sent look like they sent a bunch of older players, but I don't know anything about that, so I'm not going to talk about that. Anyway, this game was all about Harsagar, man. You check out his game. He was shooting some daggers, pun intended. I know it's just the qualifying, and India won the qualifying last year as well by beating all three teams. But the next thing for India is that they will be going into the Pool D, right? Pool D has New Zealand, fourth seeded, fifth seeded Qatar, and 19th seeded India. So they're going to be really difficult matchups. New Zealand is a perennial team, winning team in FIBA 3x3, especially in the Asia Cup. They have a really good team. Qatar, obviously, we have a history against them in the FIBA actual 5v5 games as well, the full court games. Not the best history. I think pretty sure we lost against them pretty recently too. But I guess it's kind of like revenge. I'm sure they won't be sending their national team players though. India is one of the teams that is doing that. And you know what? I think it's a great idea. These are great reps for these guys. So I feel pretty good about this one. Let's see. The matches are tomorrow, April 3rd, and I'm looking forward to it, man. I'll try to catch them live and try to make another reaction video once the games are done. I'll try to get some reactions and recordings of some gameplay as well, and react to those. Maybe get some coaching opinions in whatever I can. Once this qualifying pools are done, good thing about this is top two teams from Group D are going to qualify. So D1 and D2. So India have a pretty good chance, man. They just need to win at least one game, and they'll give themselves a good chance. Once that's done, they'll have the quarterfinal, and in that case, anything can happen. Quarterfinals, knockout rounds, anything can happen, man. Quarterfinal, semi-final, final, and you know, I'm feeling good about India. I'm genuinely feeling really good about India. It's all about consistency, and I hope they go on to win it all, man. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a nice one.